next type of non-harmonic tone I'm going to discuss is the neighbor tone. A neighbor tone also moves in stepwise motion, but it involves a change of direction. If we take a look at this C chord again, we know that this C and this C are both part of the underlying chord. But again, look at this D. It doesn't fit into the chord, so we have to identify it somehow. In this case, the C moves up to D and then moves back down to the C. When this type of motion occurs, it's called a neighbor tone. So it goes up to a non-harmonic tone and comes back down to the same chord tone. That's a neighbor tone. Now, it can move up, but it can also move down. In this case, the C goes down to B, and then from B moves back up to C. That's also a neighbor tone. Now, if you want to get more specific, when the neighbor tone moves up, it's called an upper neighbor tone. Then, when the neighbor tone moves down, it's simply called a lower neighbor tone. Again, you can identify this without the notes to make it a little easier to understand. Chord tone moves up to a neighbor tone, then moves back to the original chord tone. Or, for a lower neighbor tone, you would start with the chord tone, moves down to the neighbor tone, and moves back up to the original chord tone. That's a neighbor tone. Do some practice with that, and then we have one more non-harmonic tone in the next lesson.